and welcome to the Nebraska Department of Education Positive Behavior Intervention and Support 10-Minute Tidbit. Today's 10-Minute Tidbit is recognition and reinforcement. My name is Heather Robbins, and I'll be your host throughout the 10-Minute Tidbit series. Our purpose with the 10-Minute Tidbit is to provide Nebraska K-12 school teams assistance with installation, initial implementation, and full implementation of PBIS practices on their campuses. We hope that these short video vignettes assist you in your implementation efforts. Today's topic is recognition and reinforcement. We hope that by the end of our short time together, you're able to define recognition and reinforcement, that you can describe the impact of giving effective feedback, and that you consider recognition and reinforcement on your campus. Let's begin with a few definitions. Recognition is the act of recognizing, it's acknowledgement, it's special notice or attention. We believe that we cannot do this too much. We can recognize and acknowledge students, staff, and parents and provide them with special attention. Reinforcement is the act of being reinforced. It's to strengthen by providing additional assistance, material, or support to make stronger or more pronounced. Please note that reward is not a synonym for reinforcement. In our photo, our friends here are reinforcing concrete with rebar, and we reinforce behavior sometimes by the use of a ticket, a coupon, a postcard. Reward. Reward is something that is given in return for good or evil done or received, or that's given for some service or attainment. Please note that reinforcement is not listed as a synonym. So we like to use the words recognition, reinforcement, and acknowledgement for the way that we recognize students, staff, parents, and stakeholders in our Nebraska schools. While we're at it, let's take a look at the definition of bribe. Bribe is trying to persuade someone to act in one's favor, typically illegally or dishonestly, by a gift or money or other inducement. We're not trying to do that. We want to strengthen or pay special attention. So we suggest that you consider you can recognize at a high rate good citizenship things that students do, good choices that they make. We can verbally recognize them, we can air five, we can thumbs up, we can recognize at a high rate, minimally 5 to 1. 5 to 1 is the magic number, and we hope that it's even more, plus, more than 5 to 1. We know that 5 to 1 is the tipping point, right? We suggest that you intermittently reinforce with a ticket, coupon, postcard, behaviors that you are teaching, the behaviors on your matrix. You selected to teach those behaviors because you'd like to strengthen them. So we suggest that you might intermittently want to reinforce them with a ticket, coupon, sticker, stamp, certificate, postcard, intermittently and unexpectedly. Recognition and reinforcement. So I'd like you to take a moment to pause the video. And when I ask you to pause the video, I'd like you to reflect on this. Do you think that you deliver 5 to 1 positive to negatives on your campus? Verbally, and thumbs up and high fives and reinforcement, all packaged together. Do we deliver 5 to 1 reinforcement on our campuses? If you're an individual, just take a moment to reflect. If you're with a school team, have a conversation. Please pause the video and respond to the question on the screen. Welcome back. I'm going to imagine that that question prompted some conversation. Do we deliver 5 to 1? And how do we know? Honestly, when researchers go into classrooms, elementary, mid, and high school, and they collect data on our feedback to students, we rarely meet that 5 to 1 rule. We're more likely to meet it at the lower grades and less likely to meet it at the higher grades. 5 to 1 is the magic number, not just in school, but in all of life, including our relationships. We want to have 5 positives for every negative, so the positives far outweigh whenever there's a negative. Now, we also want to be giving some performance descriptive feedback to students. By that, we mean specific. We're very good at good job, good job, good job. And when I say performance descriptive feedback, we're suggesting that you finish the sentence. Good job, something. So a great way to provide performance descriptive feedback is to say the student's name. Hey, Pedro, good job being respectful when you held the door for the visitor on our campus. That was really awesome. Thank you for that. You know what? That makes people feel welcome in our school, and we really appreciate that. So we can give performance descriptive feedback a lot for recognition, and we should always give it whenever we reinforce with a ticket, stickers, coupon, star. We want to make sure we provide performance descriptive feedback. A great way to do that is to say a student's name or a group's name. Hey, 9th graders, right? To be genuine, to specifically describe the behavior and tie it to our school-wide expectations, whatever that may be. And when possible, identify how that behavior helps us, a positive outcome or positive result that we might get from that behavior. Here are a few quotes that I'd like you to consider from Terry Scott. Positive effective feedback has the highest single effect size of anything that a teacher can do in a classroom. 0.73. Highest single effect size. From Laura Riffle, we can improve behavior by 80% just by pointing out what one person is doing correctly. And from Jeff Sprague, please remember, reinforcement is a process, not a single event. So we like to recognize, pay special attention to, and reinforce intermittently and unexpectedly as part of a process to strengthen behaviors on our campuses. If you engage in reinforcement, we highly recommend that you make it systematic. Here are some questions you might want to answer and get in a formal written system that you train all staff on. What is the purpose of our system? Who delivers our type of reinforcement, sticker, star, stamp, postcard, certificate? When do they deliver? How do they deliver? And provide your staff members with examples and non-examples. Who earns our reinforcement? How? When? Why? How explicitly, once we deliver it, does this system work on our campus? Is it something that they collect? Is it something that they put in a bin? When do things happen with this system? Is there a wall of fame? How does the system work? And how will we monitor the system to know if it's having the impacts that we would like? What data might we collect around our system? And then also consider anything else the staff members might need to know. For instance, we deliver this reinforcement, we don't take it away. That might be something you might want to share with your staff members. You want to have a systematic process for delivery across multiple adults. You want to have it written and formal, and you want to train all staff members minimally on the questions that are on the screen. Just so you know, the purpose of a reinforcement system is to strengthen our use, increase our use of performance descriptive feedback from staff members to students. If you give me a ticket, a certificate, a coupon, a postcard, and you train me to deliver it with performance descriptive feedback, Using the school-wide expectation, you are increasing my use of performance descriptive feedback, and you are helping me get to 5 to 1 minimally. The purpose is to increase our use of performance descriptive feedback. Here are a few examples from Nebraska. From Seward High School, the students over here receive a positive office referral and a postcard. Notice that there's a recognition system for staff members at Westbrook Elementary School. There's a ticket system that's used at Fall City Middle School. At Avery Elementary School, there's an example of a postcard. And Walt Hill Public Schools uses Mission Mondays, where they change up the kind of reinforcement or recognition that they're doing on a weekly basis. And they change whether it's for staff, parents, students, or stakeholders. So here's a few final thoughts for you. Recognition should be specific, delivered at a high rate, given to all students, staff members, parents for the positive and wonderful good citizenship things and good choices that they do every day. Reinforcement is effective when it's tied to our behavior matrix, it's paired with descriptive feedback, it's given soon after the behavior, it's delivered intermittently and unexpectedly, it's age appropriate and actually valued by the student, it's based on data, and it's delivered at a higher rate at first and then gradually faded. Another trick is to target a particular behavior to strengthen. So for instance, you might think that you want to strengthen the use of appropriate language, and you only deliver your reinforcement for that because that's what you're teaching and that's what you're trying to strengthen. So you might even target a particular behavior that you're trying to strengthen. Here are some to-dos for your team to consider. Determine how could you measure 5 to 1 on your campus? Do you know? Do students say that they feel like they get recognized and acknowledged? Do staff members? How can you share this information about effective feedback and its impact with your staff members? And finally, your team might want to assess or reassess, if you have one, your reinforcement system. Have you answered all those questions? Have you trained all staff members? And do staff members understand that the purpose of our reinforcement system is to increase our use of performance descriptive feedback with students so we can get to that 5 to 1? All right, we hope that in our short time together, you defined recognition and reinforcement, you described the impact of giving effective feedback, and that you have taken some time to consider recognition and reinforcement on your campus. We look forward to seeing you at our next 10-minute tidbit.